welcome to episode 130 of
the Eldritch Podblast.
I'm Margaret.
I'm Jack.
And hi.
How's it going?
I forgot how to do the intro.
No,
Sorry.
you did it was perfect.
Yeah, yes, it was.
I think it was actually the best intro you've ever done.
Yes,
I think on a scale of 130 episodes of this podcast, I think that was the best.
Nice.
Tell Margaret it was the best.
Yeah, oh my god, it was the best, right?
Tell Margaret it was the best you've ever heard her do the intro, ever.
Yeah.
And there's no exceptions.
Yeah. Do you remember when I was sick a while ago and I went to say hello and nothing came out and it was just like, hello, how you doing?
What you eating?
What you eating?
What you drinking?
What you wearing?
What you wearing?
What you doing?
What you doing?
Who you doing?
Who you doing?
Yes, you heard me right.
Somebody was like, did Margaret say, who am I doing?
Certainly did.
Yeah.
Who's your hyperfixation for this week?
Ooh.
Yeah, I want to know.
Is it the Eldritch Podblast?
Yeah.
Is it my dog who's definitely licking himself?
No, he's not. No, he's not. His head is down. Listen, do we foresee the dog being a demon today?
I mean, to be fair, we thought we foresaw it last time and it wasn't that bad.
True, that's true. There was only, 2 stops last time?
Yeah, something like that.
I think a lot of it was you being like, is he all right? And he was actually fine.
I don't know what it is. Like, I think it might be the fan. Like, I think it's him licking himself when it gets to the end of its cycle and it sort of creaks.
Yeah,
I'm like...
It does sound
because
like
I can't see him, Margaret can see him.
Yeah. And again, he can't do anything normally, like his mother. So if he starts licking his foot, we either have to stop him or the whole foot is going.
The foot's going to be consumed.
Oh, yeah, foot's going to be consumed.
It's going to be consumed.
Yeah. Again, our vet...
And it's not going to be consumed by the entity.
Oh, no.
It'll be consumed by himself.
Yeah.
He'll do the consuming for the entity.
Yeah, our vet once told us a prophecy about a dog that licked its feet so much it chewed its own feet off.
Yeah, it chewed its own toes off.
Don't put that into the universe.
Don't tell me that, because now
I
know
our dog.
Like, he will do that.
Oh, he will do that. Certainly.
He'd chew his own toes off.
He would absolutely do that. Yeah,
chew his own toes off.
So how about you? Would you chew your own toes off? Let me know.
Have you chewed your own toes off?
I need to know.
When will you chew your own toes off?
Will you, Vevigs?
Will you, Vevigs?
When
will you, Vevigs?
Hi.
Hello.
Trying to think of anything to tell you about, to be honest.
Yeah.
I haven't done anything really, have
Nah,
we?
we've just been playing WoW.
Yeah, been playing a lot of World of Warcraft.
Played World of Warcraft basically all day yesterday.
Yeah, we did. We had a rare day off yesterday.
Margaret got a mount.
Oh, I did!
So we've been looking for the heavenly Onyx Cloud Serpent. So the one that has all like the beautiful white glows on it. Since
it's a really rare drop chance.
It's a like 0.03% drop chance apparently. And basically, we've been trying to get it for every week since we started playing 4 years ago.
Yeah.
And yesterday, Margaret got it.
I did get it!
It's typical Margaret, because she gets every mount.
I do. You know what? I am extremely lucky when it comes to World of Warcraft drops. Like, in terms of, because my, we've been playing retail a lot recently, because Season 4, because we do like doing like Mythic Dungeons and stuff like that, is starting soon. And I was gearing up an alt, and I know to our World of Warcraft friends, non-World of Warcraft players, it probably doesn't sound like much, but you have something called item level, and each piece of gear you get ups your item level.
Yeah,
basically.
if it's a higher, you know, so basically like the higher the item level, the better stats it has on it.
Yeah.
The better stats means the higher the item level. Basically.
I started at item level 340 because I hadn't played this character properly since Shadowlands, really. Yeah. And I am now 468.
We played for like not even a weekend.
So I've gone up over 100 item levels.
Yeah.
Whereas our friend Wabs,
was our friend Wabs? I think he's gone up maybe
10.
like 10 item levels since we started,
10.
and Margaret's gone up 120 or something stupid.
Yeah, I'm really lucky with drops. Like I don't know why. I always have been.
You're always the first one with tier.
I am.
I don't know what it is.
I don't know what it is.
You always roll well when you need something.
I do.
I was already high item level, so I've been sort of like boosting everyone through the dungeons, just like helping Wabs and Margaret. And we went and we finally did Farak. We hadn't really done Farak like at all because we're not really raiders, we're more Mythic Pluses.
Yeah.
But we were like, let's do it. Let's just get the raid done because we want to like say that we killed Farak. And we did, and the Rage Heart dropped, which is like the Gigabis trinket for me, and Jordan gave it to me because he rolled on it as well. and he traded it over. So I got my best trinket. That's like the only thing that's dropped for me because
so it's been a very successful week, I guess.
Margaret went up 130 item levels.
Yes,
I went up 4.
Yeah,
so,
you were already at quite a high item level.
When you get up that to like that sort of top end of the item level, it slows right down.
Yeah.
It's more like really like methodical. Like where do I put my like upgrades and stuff like that?
Yeah. Hello, sorry about that. I think I have trapped wind again. Yay! Oh man, you know the other day I was like, I had trapped wind and it was terrible. I have a terrible feeling I once again have trapped wind.
Well, I'll get you a peppermint tea after this.
Yeah. I've had some Reddies, had some painkillers.
Reddies. Yeah, I don't know if Reddies do that though.
You don't think?
Reddies are for heartburn.
Yeah.
We'll get you some buttermilk.
Yeah.
We'll get you some peppermint tea.
Yeah.
After this.
I don't know what we were talking about. We were talking about World of Warcraft.
I think still. I don't know.
I don't know.
I
have actually no idea.
But yeah, I got Frax Raid chat.
Yeah.
And that's good for me as a tank.
Yeah.
I do be tanking.
So we've been smashing some.
We have.
WoW. It's been really fun.
It has been fun.
We've come to a conclusion. We definitely will stream WoW for you guys. Because going into season 4. We'll stream I think there's going to be 2 different Warcraft streams, right?
Oh my
God. There's going to be the retail grinding the dungeons, which is a lot of chaos, like a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah.
And then there's going to be the classic leveling, I think, because again, I think I said this last time. So many of you were like, I would love to get into World of Warcraft, but
it's too scary and it's too much of a talk because there's a lot of World of Warcraft.
There is a lot. There's 20 years of World of Warcraft.
Yeah, and
now.
also right now there's Dragonflight, so retail, the Season of Discovery, there's Classic Era, there's Hardcore.
Yeah,
there's so many different versions of WoW.
There's so
there's
many
Cataclysm.
different versions. Yeah.
And it's just a lot.
Yeah,
it's
and we enjoy all of them. So.
Yeah, big time.
Indeed. What else? What else have we been doing?
Nothing. Literally nothing.
Yeah, nothing.
I cut my dog's toenails.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
That's an ordeal for him.
Yeah, it is.
Doesn't like that at all.
Yeah, it
but
is.
The thing is, what I've noticed with other dogs' nails is they come out with a toe and then they taper off. They get really pointy and small and short and stuff like that. Whereas with a a bull terrier breed, the thickness that it comes out of the toe, which is thick, it just remains that long.
Yeah. Oh my God.
So cutting them, you have to really wrestle him off.
Yeah.
And he doesn't like it.
Yeah. No, he doesn't.
He doesn't like it at all.
He doesn't.
His feet are all, because he licks them all the time, they're all just nasty and stuff. So
so what about your feet?
Do you want me to cut your toenails?
Yeah, what are your toenails like?
I'll cut your toenails if you really want me to.
Yeah, I'd like to know.
It'll be a walk in the park in comparison to my dog.
Oh, certainly.
Oh,
yeah. Have I told you about the time? I was so scared of doctors when I was a kid. And I was scared of needles, still am. Tattoos don't count. Actual syringe needles.
Yeah.
And I had to get my vaccines as a child, and I kicked off. God, I must have been such a nightmare. I remember I kicked off so much. I was running around the room screaming, and they were trying to pry me off a radiator. Yeah. I grabbed onto a radiator.
You ripped the radiator off the wall?
I think I nearly did.
She turned green. It was the Hulk. Oh my God.
You hear about people doing inhumane acts of strength when they're scared.
Yeah.
Me as a child. Yeah, literally me as a child.
The adrenaline. It was just too much.
It was too much. Yeah, it certainly was.
With the radiator, the wall came down. The doctors collapsed. It was a calamity.
Yeah. Oh my God, it was a calamity. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I destroyed the whole doctor's office.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And everyone inside.
Yeah. Everyone died that day.
Yeah. No.
Well, I don't think I have really much else to say apart from the Crit Awards are still open.
They sure are.
They close on May the 30th, if I'm correct, or the 31st. How many days does May have? 30 days have September, April, June, and November. All the rest of 31. So May has 30. May the 31st.
Whether it ends on the 31st or not, I don't know.
No.
But I think it does.
Yeah, nominations close then at least.
So you can vote for us in best because it's a new up and coming is classed as less than 2 years.
Yeah.
So you can vote for us for new and upcoming Twitch streamer, new and upcoming podcast. We would really, really appreciate it if you did. Thank you very much if you already have. Thank you very much if you're literally going to do it now, which you will be, right?
Yeah. Oh my God. Entity.
And thank you for all the support. And even just you came to us and you were like, "Oh, we voted for you, by the way," and that's how we even found out about it. So thanks so much.
Thank you so very much. So very, very much appreciated.
Yeah.
And hey, do you like us? Because if so, could you like the video?
Could you like the video? Could you subscribe? Could you comment? Could you ring the bell to be notified when we upload a video?
Again, honestly, since we've started saying it, like I feel like at the beginning of the episode now, you guys are doing it so much more, and you're real. I say it every time. You're pushing our videos so much more. So thank you, so very, very, very much appreciated. You have no idea what you do for us.
Oh, goodness gracious me!
Oh, the dog's licking his feet. You know what? The second the dog heard me clap, he stopped. Interesting.
What an interesting animal he may be.
Interesting. I'm trying to sit upright to cure my, I'm assuming, trapped wind.
Oh my goodness. A trapped wind.
I suddenly feel like doo-doo butt cheeks. So if I'm a little low energy, I very much apologize.
You've got to be high energy. I can bring the energy.
Yeah.
Bump, 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 bump. There we go.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess. Anything else?
Nah.
Now
else.
Yeah, now else. Well, with that, shall we get into today's topic?
Absolutely.
We are doing... What do we even call this?
This month on Reddit.
This month on Reddit!
Oh my god, I can't believe it.
This month
I can't believe you forget.
r/D&D.
Let's go!
This is such a fun episode because this is basically, we go through the r/D&D subreddit, we filter it for the past month, and we see what's been kicking around.
Yeah.
And this is kind of like a catch-all episode, right?
Yeah, it's got some like happy stories, some sad stories, some what the hell stories, sorts of things.
Yeah.
And then at the end we celebrate it with some art from the
community.
community.
Yeah, exactly. I think we've got 2 pieces of art.
We do. We've got 2 pieces of art.
We do, indeed.
2 very fine pieces of art.
Indeed.
Fine.
So, well, shall we get into it?
Yeah. Topic 2049.
Oh my gosh.
That won't sound right to you because there was a big gap.
Yeah, there was a huge gap for you. Right. So, this first one is... Players keep insisting that everything has a real-world parallel. I have a weird problem with a player in my game. They require everything in D&D world to be parallel of a real-life country, culture, religion, race, etc. Oh, I thought you were clapping out. Sorry, I thought you were clapping out and getting up.
No. I was just repositioning, sitting up more upright for my posture.
Oh my god.
A little posture check.
Oh my god. It just feels weird that I'll work on something for my homebrew world just for them to go, oh, so this must be Germany. What bothers me most about it is that I just go along or something and say something like, yeah, sure, if you want.
If that's what you want to, correlate it to, that's fine, but it's not.
And then they'll try to almost weaponize it in-game. I'll have something happen and they will complain that it goes against the real world culture and they try to rules lawyer out of it. It's also a bit uncomfy when they decide that my elves are Chinese because they have a large empire in the eastern part of my world and have gunpowder. And now that it's being revealed that the empire is borderline fascist and a little evil, they think I'm racist. It's just a weird situation all around, and I'm not sure how to handle it. They're a fun player in other regards, and they don't have many friends or social activities beyond D&D. Also, their cousin is one of my favorite players in the same game. I don't want to kick them out because I don't want to kick them out, but I'm also not sure how to explain yet again that it's a made-up fantasy world and any connections to the real world are solely because I'm not that creative and there's only so many ideas out there.
Yeah, and you've already said once, that's not the case.
Yeah.
You're doing that. You're the one who's drawing those connections. So if you draw connections where there is none, and then you relate it to real life, and then you call me racist, that's on you.
Yeah, and the thing is, I understand. Sometimes, like, I do this as well. If someone's explaining something to me that I don't fully understand, I go, "Oh, is it like similar to this?"
Yeah.
And that's kind of how I gain my bearings.
Similar.
Yeah.
Not it's
this.
It
is this.
Or this is Germany. Or that's China.
Yeah, it's the way that this must be Germany, and it's like.
Well, it's not though, because Germany doesn't exist in this world.
Yeah.
You're just drawing that parallel. And then when I do, because, it's very common to have maybe just like a nation or something.
Yeah, of course.
As the bad guys,
Of course,
or even
like
a region that is like the bad guys.
Yeah.
Like that's quite a common thing.
Yeah, I
But
agree.
it's like when you call it China,
Yeah,
and then
I know.
and then I make them the bad guys, and then you call me racist. I didn't make them the bad guys because they're Chinese.
Yeah.
I didn't make them the bad guys because of any other reason.
I didn't make
they
them Chinese.
They were the bad guys.
Yeah.
You've called them Chinese and then
now,
called me racist.
Yeah. I think this is a really weird form of like projection in a sense, right?
Yeah.
Like, but then again, you know, the player's obviously being like, oh well, you're calling them a bad guy, but it's like you're calling them the bad guy.
Yeah, you're calling them Chinese. That's the thing.
Exactly.
It's like they can be the bad guy because I'm painting them out to be the bad guy.
Yeah, exactly.
But they're just elves in a fantasy world.
Yeah, exactly.
You're drawing the parallels between the real world and then calling me racist for doing it. It's just like any. There is no racism here, like at all.
Yeah.
But you're making me racist.
I agree. I agree.
Man, that is.
Yeah, I know.
That's a tough one to deal with.
And again, I very much understand the being like, oh, so is it like this? But to be like, this must be this.
This is Germany.
Yeah.
Like this is. There's no way this is Germany.
Yeah. Like, the thing is, like,
it's like you're making a problem and then making it the dungeon master's problem.
Yeah, I agree. Like, you know, I realize that OP probably, well, certainly will not hear this.
No.
But, you know, my advice would literally just to talk to this person and be like,
just
look.
Reiterate once again.
Yeah, it's making me really uncomfortable that you are, like, conflating these people to this IRL thing. We had this on stream the other day. Someone was like, I'm making a
gonna make a campaign like
based on the real world, right? And we were like, brilliant, great idea. Like you can have like it split into like regions and factions and everything like that. But like don't,
you know, and we said, you know, with everything going on in the world right now, the world is like a tough place to live, and there's, you know, sadly there is war going on and things like that. So we need to just be very careful with you know, the notes that we touch on with these campaigns, and maybe even you can use the world map, you can even use the regions, but just change country names, and you know, just like put like races in there from fantasy, so it just doesn't remind you of the real world.
And like and don't touch on real world things that are happening.
The thing is, right, if that's what this person did, then maybe I'd go, okay, then I understand why they may be drawing more parallels.
But
they've just put them in a random fantasy world.
But they haven't.
And then they're like, Germany.
Yeah, what you know what? I fully understand why OP feels uncomfortable with that. I would be very upset and very uncomfortable if someone was saying those things about me.
Yeah.
Based on their own assumptions on this thing. It's like, I feel like it's a weird like projection thing.
Like they're making assumptions and then calling me out for their assumptions.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. What a strange situation
so
to
weird.
be in.
That's such a strange one.
Yeah, has anyone else been in a situation like this where like your players like compare the fantasy world to the real world too much? Because like I can see how that would happen.
Yeah.
I can see how you could be like, oh, so does it work like this in real life? You know what I mean? When
we can draw like distant parallels.
Yeah,
it's something like that, but it's this.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, it's a fantasy game and in DnD, and it's not real life, and we need to, you know, calling somebody racist.
I know.
For distant parallels that you've made up in your own head.
Hey, listen,
wow.
we love to call out a racist when we see one. Let me tell you that for free.
No,
definitely
like,
not.
If you want the elves to be a bad guy in your campaign, like that's fine. That's literally fine.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, but you're not a racist.
Yeah, I know. I agree. And like, what a strange one. What absolutely
just wild.
Yeah,
that one's wild. That is so strange.
OP, I know you're not watching this, but like, I hope you got this. I really hope you got that sorted.
Yeah, and I really hope that you have done nothing wrong here.
Yeah, no, you haven't. Yeah, by the way, you really haven't.
You're just running a game, and
you're very valid to
this.
feel uncomfortable. I would feel very uncomfortable.
I would feel so uncomfortable.
Yeah, I really would. Well,
anyway,
this is why this episode's so good, because we can just pull things that we normally wouldn't be able to.
Random stories like that.
Yeah, indeed.
Because that doesn't really fit in. That's maybe like a horror story, maybe.
Yeah. Oh, maybe advice.
Yeah,
like,
maybe
how
advice.
Do I,
How do I get them to stop doing this?
Yeah. Oh, right. So this next one, this is titled, "What's one thing that you wished players understood and you, as DM, didn't have to struggle to get them to understand?"
So look, with this one, there's a couple of spicy ones from clearly some frustrated dungeon masters.
Yep.
So, but God, I can't really think of one for me. What's something that I wish the players would understand?
Yeah.
No, I'll tell you one.
Go on.
This is
the bad guys can have abilities too.
Yeah.
Boo!
This is a little slight at my party.
Boo!
They truck all sorts of like wild combos on me and stuff like that. And then when I do any of those things back to them, they're like, I can't believe
how could you do that?
Do this.
Oh my God, how could you do that to us?
I can't believe you'd be so horrible to do this to me.
Oh my God, what a cruel DM.
I cannot believe you.
What an evil man.
What an evil man
what
who
an
would
evil
do
man.
such an evil act.
Oh my God, how cruel and unusual for you to do that to us. As we're like, all right, yeah, okay, back to the cheese grater.
Anyway, back to the cheese grater. Back to the peasant cannon.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of one. I'm trying to think of one, but again,
I think that
DM,
there's one that I know is not on this list.
Oh yeah.
That I think a lot of people would agree with.
Go on.
It's I am not the bad guy.
Yes. Yeah.
The bad guys are the bad guys.
Yes, totally.
But I am the dungeon master, and I'm the only one who can run a bad guy.
Yeah, absolutely.
So don't ever feel like but the thing is, it's like there are some dungeon masters who do take it out on people.
Yeah.
So it is hard distinction to draw between for some people. But me, not the bad guy.
Yeah.
Just trying to play a game with a entertaining and good, thick, full bad guy.
Yeah, no, I agree, and our party know that. But again, I can very, very much understand why how those lines would be blurred 100%, especially for DMs who intentionally do it.
I've got another one that doesn't really relate to me. This is about the post, not me. But anyway, another one is sometimes things just need to happen for the narrative. Yeah,
no,
and
fair.
There's a dungeon master I've talked to recently who has a player who just does not understand that narratively some things need to happen. Yeah. And they're like trying everything within their power and their tool set to like deny it happening.
Totally.
100% of the time.
Totally. Yeah.
And that's that's probably one of the most frustrating things as a dungeon master.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, and I feel like that is just an experience thing, right?
And I don't know, it's like sometimes I'm like, maybe I should just call like this is a narrative moment, but also at the same time I don't sort of want to say that because then that maybe would ruin the narrative moment.
Yeah, I understand that. Yeah. Again, I feel like that is such a tricky line to walk.
Yeah,
and I actually do think I can only count a handful of times when we haven't been able to distinguish those narrative moments. Yeah. You know what I mean? In fact, I can only count one.
I can only count one.
Yeah.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. But, that one did really hurt you. Like, the fact that,
tough.
we weren't able to distinguish that it was a narrative moment and we were trying to do anything we could to stop it.
Yeah, I agree.
But, I think that only that once.
Yes. Yeah, I agree. But that's the thing. It's like, it's only happened to me once and I still got through it. But as I was trying to get through it, you were just throwing everything. You were throwing the kitchen sink at me while I was trying to just get a monologue out.
Yeah, everything. And I think that's the only time we've done that.
Yeah, but and that was like tough for me, quite an experienced dungeon master.
Yeah.
So I can only imagine what it's like for maybe new dungeon masters who aren't as equipped.
Totally.
But anyway, to the post.
Oh, sorry, yes, to the post. There's some really, really good ones on here. So, OP says, I'll go first. Rolling a natural 20 is not a license to succeed at anything. To succeed at anything. Not a license to succeed at anything. Sorry. Let's go from the beginning. Rolling a nat 20 is not a license to succeed at anything. Yes, it's an awesome moment, but it only means that you succeed in doing what you were trying to do.
Yeah.
If you are doing the wrong thing to solve your problem, you will succeed at doing the wrong thing and have no impact on the problem. Then steps off of soapbox.
I mean, like, that's the thing. It's like, I guess if let's just say there's a really obvious way to figure out a certain puzzle. Yeah. And the party just aren't getting it. And they're like, well, I want to do this. And it's the complete wrong thing. And they roll a natural 20. It's just like, well, you don't succeed because you aren't doing the right thing.
Yeah.
So I can understand.
Yeah. Listen, we see big number on dice. We all go, woo! And think, that's the end of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that is a very common thing, I think, for players to do. But like, I also can't help but feel like unless it was the absolute total wrong thing, right?
Yeah.
You would probably try and weave away, we succeed in the wrong thing that we're doing.
Maybe
like if we're trying to brute force something.
let's just say a natural 20 gets rolled and the celebrations happen.
Yeah.
And you're doing the complete wrong thing.
Yeah.
What I might make happen is you do it so wrong that like you stumble onto the right thread.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
or something
yeah,
like that.
Exactly.
So the natural 20 doesn't feel like giga bad.
Yeah, exactly.
But at the same time, like you haven't succeeded,
Yeah,
but you're
You-
now on the right track.
You've uncovered
Yes,
the correct way to be
do
able
it,
to do
yeah.
it. Yeah, I completely agree.
Yeah.
And I also agree with what OP says. Like I feel like with our table, you can give us those leniences because we won't abuse them, and
Yeah.
you know that we won't ever intentionally be bastards about something.
Yeah, no, never.
But I can definitely see tables where it's like you're just doing the wrong thing.
Yeah.
I can totally see it.
I mean,
100%.
if you are so far off,
yeah,
it doesn't like maybe
yeah.
it doesn't just doesn't even matter.
yeah,
And like that's the thing when you start to when you start to get a really high level play. Because you can't critically fail and you can't critically succeed in a skill check. Like if I've set a 25 DC for something like really high, and you roll a natural 20 and you've only got a +1, and it's a 21, it's just like that still doesn't succeed.
yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, indeed.
Like, because it's nice to have those really high skill checks for those people who are really good at something.
Totally. Who expect into doing something
To be the ones to figure those things out.
Agreed. Well, we have a couple of examples.
We do.
We have a few examples actually. These are all taken from like comments on the thread. This one is learn your character's abilities and the rules that govern them! ! Please! ! Please!
There's one thing that I'll always remember, and this was when I first really got into Dungeons and Dragons, and I was watching Campaign 2, and it was right at the beginning, and Sam is a arcane trickster rogue, and the whole thing is you have this like mage hand,
Yeah.
and there's basically a gap that is unjumpable, and they're trying to like throw a rope across, and like halfway through they're like failing so many times, and Matt just turns to Sam and he goes, "This would be a perfect time for the mage hands." And then Sam's like, "Oh,
perfect!"
And it's just like, like sometimes if a dungeon master puts a puzzle in the way for you specifically to shine in that
Yes.
moment, like, oh, you've got immunity to poison and there's a puddle of poison between you and the end of the thingy, and you forget that you've got poison immunity, and then people are burning like fly resources to like get over it. It's just like sometimes, if you're I'm not saying you're a good dungeon master, but you're a switched on dungeon master who knows what their players have.
Totally.
You can really tailor things to somebody, but then if they don't know that they've got that,
I know.
it can get a little frustrating.
I completely, and you know what? I also don't think there's anything wrong. With Matt going, "Oh, I don't think there's anything wrong with that."
How about mage hand?
Yeah,
huh?
I honestly, I think, and God, especially, first of all, especially if you're a new player, oh my God, you're not going to know everything.
No.
I understand what this point is, like, learn your abilities, because that helps you. Like, knowing what you have in your arsenal helps you.
Yes.
But, a new player has so much other stuff to worry about.
Yeah.
And then, to be honest, even an experienced player going into a new character, like me stepping into Blythe, I'm not a spellcaster, but Blythe is a swordsbard, so she does have spells. I also learn and I remember things in a really specific way. I have to have physical things. If I don't have something physically in front of me or printed out, I'm not gonna remember I have it.
And that's the thing. It's like, if it's a bunch of new players, maybe don't put these really specific, like intricate, like scenarios where they have to use one specific ability, because they are fighting fires, trying to figure out just even how to survive sometimes when they first start playing. But maybe a slightly more like experienced player. Or like maybe just like a number of sessions in where people are actually comfortable.
Yeah, I always say this to people. Like, if you new player, experienced player, whatever, just make a list of all of your character's abilities and
what
just have them
do.
in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, like, this can be on an app, this can be on a doc, this can be physically
Piece
written
of
out.
paper.
Yeah, honestly,
Doesn't matter.
It helps. It helps me so much.
The best way to do it is organize it by action economy. Be
Absolutely.
Like action and all of the things you can do in action.
Yeah, bonus action.
All of the things you can do in a bonus action.
Reaction.
All the things you can do. It's like,
exactly.
Because then it's like, okay, I've got an action left, and I just read the list of actions.
Exactly.
And then you know exactly what you're going to be able to do.
Yeah, exactly.
But it also just, it is an easy way to see laid out in front of you everything that you can do.
Yep, agreed. Yeah, very much agreed. Yeah, learning your character's abilities is very important.
I agree.
It is because you will shine more once you do, but there's so many other things to remember as well.
Yeah.
And you have to understand the way that works best for you as well, to be honest. And mine is just spending a lot of time and making things to have physically printed out.
Yeah.
Because that's who I am.
That's fine.
This next one is simply, I reserve the right to ignore any role that I did not call for.
Yeah. So, like, and the thing is, there's a real distinction to be drawn here.
Yeah.
There's a real distinction to be drawn here. Players asking if they can make a role.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I feel that's totally different.
Totally fine, in my opinion.
100%.
If I'm maybe just not picking up on something
that's the point of the game.
Yeah, if somebody's trying to do something and I'm just not picking up on what they're trying to do, and they go, "Can I just make this intimidation roll?
Yeah.
Can I just make this like sleight of hand check?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, sure, go for it." Like that's totally fine. But if they just go sleight of hand this, and I'm like, I didn't ask you for that.
I very much agree.
I do not like roles that I didn't ask for or you didn't ask me for.
I agree. Roles that you just do. Yeah, because then you can really get into the realms of like cheesing and being like what are you rolling for? Like could you, because you haven't said what it is and what skill you're using.
Like what you're trying to achieve with it.
Yeah.
Like I think a lot of the times, if you're a dungeon master who maybe struggles with this, like there's sometimes where we get into a new place and someone's like, in our campaign, someone's like, "Can I make an investigation check?" And I'm like, okay, like what are you trying to look for? Because if there's something specific you're trying to look for, that's fine. But if it's just a general look, I'm gonna make it a perception check.
Yeah.
But I think just finding out when they ask you for a role, just find out what they're trying to look or do or achieve with that role is a great way to just enhance the role play of it.
Yeah. I also don't think there's anything wrong with someone goes, or you go, "Oh, you make a perception check." If someone else goes, "Oh, could I make that too?" because of XYZ. But I also think there's a difference between someone going, "I'm going to make that too."
It's like asking.
Exactly. Yeah, totally.
Because there might be a reason why you can't.
Exactly.
Because again, you don't understand. Sometimes a lot of players don't understand what's behind the screen and what's going on in the scenario. It's like, I hold all the secrets and all of the information as to what happens when we move into a certain place or a room or something like that.
Yeah, totally.
And you don't. And it's not me being like, that's a power play. It's like, I have the information. It's just like, there's sometimes reasons why you can and cannot do something.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah.
And I'm never going to like do that to like one up you. I'm just going to do that narratively.
Yeah. I don't think we've ever been in a situation where someone's just like rolled randomly. Like
no.
Like thankfully, I don't think
there's a lot of. Tell you my funniest thing ever is when I have a new player and I'm like, "All right, you want to make 2 attacks? Go for it," and they just roll damage. Like that's why, and I'm just like, do we need to hit them first?
Sometimes I do that.
Yeah,
even now, sometimes I do that.
Yeah, you actually have to roll to hit first.
I feel like that's a rite of passage.
That is a rite of passage.
That's a rite of passage.
That's trial by fire.
Every
new player has always done that. They're just so excited to roll damage.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. This next one is, just tell me the thing you're trying to do. Whether it's an unorthodox move in combat or forming a pirate crew. Too many players feel like they have to spring their big idea on the DM/party for some reason and waste a lot of time and effort when they could just say, "I want to pole vault up to the dragon." How would that work?
Yeah, man, like that is Dungeons and Dragons to its absolute T. You tell me what you want to do, and I'll tell you what to roll.
Totally.
Like, it's a fantasy game where almost anything is where anything is possible.
Yeah.
Not everything, but almost anything.
Yeah.
And if you want to do something sick like pole vault onto the dragon's head and start to fight it from on top of its snout, then we're gonna roll to see if that happens.
Yeah.
I'm totally down with rolling to see if that happens.
Totally.
But like, there's so many times where players feel like they're trying to one up the dungeon master.
Totally.
And they're trying to be like, if I keep this a secret long enough and I like string the dungeon master along long enough, and then I get to the end and I just say, and then I do this, it's gonna work. It's just like, I'm not here to tell you that you cannot do something. I'm telling you what to roll to achieve to do something.
Totally.
So if you just say, my end goal is X, how do I get there?
Yeah.
Then we'll do it together.
Yeah, totally.
And when it comes off, it's going to be sick.
And like the thing is, I can understand like narratively surprising your DM.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it probably didn't come as a surprise to you, but when we were going to make that deal with that big worm woman, and Blythe went to shake her hand and then stabbed her. You know, I'm sure you knew that was coming. But
I mean, no, we'd gotten so far down the line that I was like, Okay, they're gonna make the deal here.
Well, you know what I
And then
mean?
you didn't.
I feel like that surprising you narratively like that is different, unless you see it otherwise.
No, I think no, like it's so those are two different things. Like you just changing your mind and being like, my character just does this is different to you just trying to keep something from me.
Yeah,
to then one up me.
Yeah,
and like there's a few situations like we're talking about Critical Role again. There's a few situations in campaign 2. There's a Caleb thing where he basically changes the entire campaign with a decision that he makes, and he wasn't trying to keep that from Matt. Just in that moment, he just does something, and everyone's like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah.
And then there's one that is slightly. Laura keeps something from Matt until the last moment, but it's just so awesome. Like, and it wasn't like a one-up thing. She just does something, and Matt's like,
"Is this the muffin thing?"
This is the muffin.
It's the muffin thing. Yeah. See, again, I feel like narratively, like the thing is, I guess that wasn't really narrative because it had a big consequence, right?
I think that was more that everyone at the table had forgotten about this muffin.
Yeah.
And then when she used the muffin, everyone was like,
Yeah, totally. But like, I think, again, I feel like there's a difference between that. You know what I mean? Like, there's a difference. And I think maybe the difference could potentially be like mechanically combat-wise, I guess. Like, trying to think about it, because when I think of someone trying to like one-up the DM, I'm thinking in terms of like a combat thing. But then again, also, I guess, like, outsmarting them.
Yeah, I think it's with intent. It's like, what's the intent of why you're not telling the Dungeon Master the whole story? Like, is your intent because you want to one-up them and outsmart them? Or is the intent because you sort of want to surprise them and everybody at the table? Like, it all comes down to intent.
Yeah, agreed. Agreed.
If because if the Dungeon Master's on your side and you're on the Dungeon Master's side and you're here to just tell a story and it's going to be awesome, and you're keeping it so everyone's surprised, including the Dungeon Master, and it's like cool, then fair. But if it's like, nah, I can't wait until the end, and then I'm gonna do this, and then I'm gonna tell the Dungeon Master that they have no way out because I've outsmarted them, it's just like, then we're not doing it with the right intent.
Yeah, but we talk about that TikTok we saw ages ago about that poor DM,
that poor fucking Dungeon Master.
I can't even fully remember what the context was.
They were in a giga bad situation. And then this person basically teleported them to the positive energy plane, and they were like instantly like getting healed.
Yeah.
And the Dungeon Master basically, I don't know, maybe they were out of range of counterspell, or like they couldn't like stop this. And then the player was like, "You knew I had this spell." Like he knew this was a possibility, and it's his fault that he hasn't prepared like a counter for it. It's just like intent. Bad.
And the DM stood there shocked and trying to work out what to do,
shaking his head.
The player keeps like physically throwing these things
it's
at
like,
them.
Oh, he wants to counterspell me, and he throws because he's a divination wizard, and he throws his token. He's just like natural one.
Yeah, and he goes, "There you go."
No,
you don't.
No,
and
you don't.
It's fucking brutal.
It's like, there you go. It's like, that's bad intent.
And the DM actually pauses and goes, "Fuck you, dude."
Fuck you.
Like, man, it's so brutal.
It's a tough watch.
It's a really tough watch.
I'm pretty sure that
really
Dungeon Master literally watches this podcast.
That Dungeon Master.
Look, my friend.
Yeah.
My heart goes out to you because.
Do you remember when you were like, "That's my Roman Empire"?
That's my Roman Empire. I still think about that.
Horrible,
I still think about that to this day.
Horrible, awful video.
Not
and
good.
you know, obviously, please don't go and search this video or anything like that.
It's not about that.
And you know, like the whole party has come out since being like, "Oh yeah, that's just how we are." Like it was fine, but man, it was a hard fucking watch. Let me tell you that.
And the thing is, it's like, that's fair, but the Dungeon Master didn't really look like they're having a lot of fun, in my opinion. But at the same time, I'm not at that table, so I can't say if they were.
Yeah, absolutely. But like, man.
But there you go.
That's the intent, 100%.
Surprise with bad intent.
Agreed. Yeah, very much.
It's like, I'm smarter than you.
Yeah.
And this is why I'm going to win.
Yeah.
It's just like, your heart's not in the right place when you're doing all these things.
Totally. Have you ever had a situation like that? Like, to be honest, as a DM or as a player, where like
that Dungeon Master comments being like, yeah,
listen,
I have this player,
listen, this divination wizard, right? But like, have you ever had a moment like this where your players have tried to like, I don't know,
basically one up you,
or like not even that, like. Either way, one up you with bad intent, or like surprise you with good intent, or like have you as a player done that to your DM?
And it can be the other way around as well, because I sadly have had a Dungeon Master who did this. I just wanted to do something, and they went out of their way to find every reason under the sun why I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Instead of just being like, roll the dice and we'll see.
Yeah,
like, it's going to be a high DC. Like, then I know that it's just a hard thing. And if I fail, I fail.
Honestly, just being like, no, there's nothing in it.
No, you can't.
No, you can't.
Just
listen. There's no reason why you should.
There's
nothing in there.
You either make it hard to the point where it's like, if I do achieve it, to like almost a miracle.
Yeah.
Or you literally just tell me that I can't.
Yeah.
Don't like start doing things to prove that I can't. It's just like, I don't care. It's a fantasy game. We're supposed to be just having some fun.
Yeah.
And like, so that when a dungeon master also does that, it also feels bad.
I agree. Yeah, I very much agree.
It's both sides.
Yeah, I very much agree. There's a few more, bloody hell. You know what? To be fair, there was a lot of stops in the beginning. I feel like we didn't really get started.
I mean, there was only 6 minutes.
Yeah.
It's all right. We'll go. We'll just go.
Yeah. So this next one is. It is not a. Oh no.
Oh my god. Oh my goodness gracious me.
I'm not a mindless video game that you can exploit. If you try to cheat the system, all I have to do is say no.
Yeah.
Man.
Like you can think up this wild ass cheat that you're gonna do, and then if I literally say the word no,
yeah,
it doesn't matter.
I agree, and I feel like that is something that a lot of players need to come to terms with.
Yeah,
it's like sometimes there doesn't have to be a reason. Yes, if you can talk through why, that's great. But I think if someone is trying to intentionally cheese or exploit or cheat, and the DM says no, there doesn't need to be a reason. Just no.
Yeah.
Don't be ridiculous.
And like,
no.
This is one of these things, right? Let's just say I ask somebody for a roll and they fail, and it's quite an important roll, and then somebody else goes, "Oh, can I do it?" And I'm like, okay, but the DC is going to be higher, and then they fail, and then the last person goes, "Can I?" I just go, "No."
Yeah.
Like, it gets to a point where as a dungeon master, you are just allowed to say no.
Totally. I completely agree. And, you can say no to pretty much anything with good reason.
With good reason.
With good reason.
With good intent.
With good intent.
With good
intent.
Yes,
genuinely, with good intent. Like, I feel like this is something that DMs should learn as well. It's okay to say no. It's okay to above table just go, no.
No.
It's fine.
Like, can I make a peasant cannon?
No.
No.
No, absolutely.
No, you can't. Can I build a nuclear bomb? Yeah. Like that player was trying to do?
Yeah. No.
No, you can't.
No.
Like, you're a barbarian with 6 intelligence.
Yeah.
No.
It's honestly even like silly things like trying to derail, like even just something as simple as like a shopkeep, right? Trying to be like, oh, can I just blow up the shop's keep? And it's like, no, you fucking can't.
Oh, yeah, you can, but just so you understand, you will be arrested and put in jail for the rest of your life.
Yeah, but it's also okay, like if
you don't want that,
if you don't want to have to go down that
path, derailing of the session and the campaign.
Totally.
No,
it's also okay to stop. And if someone's doing something, and again, we're talking about problem players here, aren't we? Like, let's be honest. Yeah. Like if someone's trying to do something absolutely batshit bonkers, insane, murder hobo, whatever, it's okay to once again above table go,
stop the game, yeah.
Like what is your intent with this?
Yeah,
what are you trying to do?
Hit him with a Brandon.
Hit him with a Brandon.
Hit him with a Brandon. Let's call back to like episode 20?
Yeah. Like what's your intent with this?
What's your intentions with this?
Yeah, 100%.
Because when you sometimes call out like what's your intentions, and then somebody has to explain first of all, cheesy they're being, second of all, how crazy they're being.
They realize, I think sometimes you can get carried away in a moment. You really can. I understand that. But if someone has to stop for a second and be like, yeah, actually, why am I doing this? Having to say it out loud, like no one wants to say they're being nasty out loud, right?
Yeah, no.
Like, that's a really good way to stop
what's your intentions with this?
Yeah.
As they're trying to build the peasant cannon.
Yeah.
I don't know why. My mind's been on peasant cannon recently.
Yeah, it's the peasant cannon in your Roman Empire.
No, that video's my Roman Empire. But the peasant cannon's just been on my mind.
Yeah, fair enough.
I've just been thinking about peasant cannon.
Just thinking about the peasant
thinking
cannon.
about the peasant cannon.
Us making a peasant cannon.
Oh my god, I can't wait.
That's what Marcus has been doing in his time off, building a peasant cannon. That is what Rotheray would make.
Yeah, 100%. Oh, Rotheray would do that. 100%.
Yeah. God.
What about a peasant cannon?
Yeah, you can say no.
No.
100%. And players, you have to accept it when your DM says no.
If
they're doing it with
if
the right
they're doing it with good
intent.
intention,
Yes.
there might be something that you just don't know right now.
Certainly, yes. Certainly.
And like, there's so many times where like if I say no, it's probably because what you're trying to do, I'm either gonna pay off soon.
Yeah, exactly.
Or I'm literally paying it off right now.
Yeah.
Just give me a second.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like, I feel like the most important thing, caveat to this is trust, right? Like,
there's been a
trusting
lot of
your DM.
moments recently because my players are so giddy when they're playing. Like, they're just so excited all the time. And I'm like trying to say something, and they're like, try to jump in. And I'm like, just give me a second.
We're like, what can we do? It's like, wait.
Just give me 1 second. Let me just finish this.
And then you finish and we're like,
that thing that I literally wanted to do just then has already happened.
Interesting.
Just give me a second.
Just give me a second. Yeah.
Yes, Dad.
Yes, dear. So, last couple here in this topic are your backstory is not the whole story. When we resolve your backstory ties, you still have ties to the remainder of the main plot that may affect your backstory in the future. You do not need to make a new character just because you saved your mother. There's still a Dracolich raising the country.
Do you know what? This is very unrelatable for me because I've never ran into this problem. But
yes.
I couldn't imagine just like as soon as we finish up my backstory, me just being like, "See ya,"
yeah,
and
yeah,
just
yeah,
leaving.
yeah, 100%.
I'll being like, we finished, and I just go to the dungeon master and go,
"Thanks for that.
Guess I'll bring in my other character, huh?"
Yeah,
and the dungeon master's like, "No."
Yeah, that was a good run. Thanks, DM. Thanks for everything.
Imagine.
Yeah,
could you imagine?
No, but like, the thing is, obviously, right?
Obviously, it happens.
Obviously, this has happened.
Clearly, this has happened to someone.
Yeah, and the thing is, I wonder if it happened in game or if it happened out of game. Like, if the player, was like, oh well,
and I walk off into the sunset.
It's not even that. Like, if the player just mentally clocked out after that, being like, well, my character's stuff done.
That's a bit selfish.
That is really selfish. Yeah, and I obviously don't know the context.
No, we don't know the context.
But can I understand someone? Not our party, but definitely someone who they had quite a simple resolution, and it was seen really soon, and they go, cool. All right, well, on to the next character. You know what I mean?
I don't think I could see that. I think maybe if you didn't quite understand that, like, there's a main story.
Yeah.
Or maybe if it wasn't clear that, like, this is what's happening in the main story. Maybe it's like a slow reveal of, like, what we need to do. Maybe, but I think that's still given a little too much.
Yeah.
Still giving a little too much to that.
Yeah, there's still a Dracolich.
There's still literally a zombie dragon killing everyone.
Yeah.
And you're like, well.
Yeah. I've definitely never seen
It's been a long road.
Yeah.
And I'm glad I met you all, but
cheers. Gonna live out the rest of my days before this Dracolich comes to me.
I'm out.
Yeah, I'm out. I'm out ski. Yeah, I don't think, certainly none of us. Certainly none of us. No, definitely not.
No.
And then the last one. There's a couple more, but just for brevity. What brevity? Take notes, I'm begging you. It doesn't need to be a book report, but if I have to recap the vision you had 6 months ago for the 20th time, I'll just choose violence instead.
I'll just choose violence instead. See, the thing is, it's just like, would it... Okay, right. Would it be better if Matthew took a few notes and remembered everything? Yes,
yeah.
But at the same time, if he's having a good time, because the thing is, I can't say that though, because when I play, I don't take notes.
True.
Like, I can't take notes at all.
True.
Because I've tried to take notes, and when I'm taking notes, I can't multitask. I am like 100% the stereotype of man can't multitask. When I start writing, I can't listen. Like, I can't hear what you're saying.
I don't think man can't multitask is an actual thing.
No, but that's like this. That's what people say.
Yes, indeed.
But like, I am that man.
Yeah.
If they were talking about a man, that's me.
Yeah.
Because I can't do it.
I normally can't either, to be fair. But notes taking is something that I'm obviously very big on.
You're you enjoy it.
Yeah, I really enjoy it. But like, I also think, you know what? I don't necessarily think this is for everyone. I think if you just have one note taker, like just one, like someone who can, if you need to refer back to someone, I don't think everyone needs to take notes.
No, because I guess that person can remind everyone. And
exactly.
again, most of the party does. It's only in certain situations where like there's some important information that we've forgotten, but at the same time, I'm happy to just remind you. But yeah, if you are being reminded of one dream sequence 20 times and you still can't remember
I know.
I think maybe you should just write it down.
I agree.
Like maybe you should just like write that down so you remember. But I understand that for a lot of players, like making notes like takes you out of the immersion because you're not
100%.
you're not like role playing.
Yeah,
And again,
it does.
That's me because I can't multitask. As soon as I start writing, like I'll just drop out of roleplay. I'll drop out of character. I'll just start writing down. It'll take me ages, and then I'll get back into it, and then I'm like 40 seconds has passed and the conversation's gone elsewhere and I wanted something to say and I couldn't say it because the time's gone and I've forgotten. Big surprise, me forgetting what he's trying to say.
Yeah.
So, like, I get it. And as long as there's one person who can remind everyone.
I think as long as there's one person taking notes. And the thing is, you know, using Matthew specifically, if there's ever anything he doesn't remember, we remind him.
We all just remind him, yeah. And, you know, he remembers most things. He remembers most things. There's just it was the flame thing.
It was the wolf thing as well.
Like literally the entire campaign's been circling around Angerboda and her children, and one of them was Fenrir, and it was Fenrir from the beginning. We had a tooth of Fenrir, we had a claw of the Fenrir. Fenrir. I'm like, there's a big wolf, and Matthew's like,
wolf? What wolf?
I don't know of any wolf.
Like, what? Oh, man. Oh, funny. So very funny. So funny. What?
There's not been a mention of a flame in this campaign.
Yeah, like, but you know, apart from that.
Apart from those.
But again, yeah, I think you only need one note taker.
Yeah, I
think so. I think so. There was a couple more for that, but bloody hell, we were on that for a long time. When did we start this? We started
long ago.
21 minutes in. Bloody hell.
Yeah, we're not.
To be fair, we've had another one since. We have read two, but bloody hell, Jesus Christ. Well,
we'll do some of this.
This is either going to be a really
this is what
long
happens
one.
when I plan an episode.
No, I think there was some really good talking points. I love the ones where. Sorry, I don't know what's wrong with me. I love the ones where it's like, what is this? And then loads of people
just give their experiences.
Yeah, I agree. And I'm sure you guys have so many examples too.
And they're great from the Reddit.
Yeah, I agree.
Loads of people have them from Reddit.
I agree. Yeah.
There was one like Reddit tell me your backstories. And I was like, oh, man, I can't. That's going to be a whole
episode.
Probably just on a couple of backstories.
Yeah. Cool though.
And then just the conversations that you can have. And that's what I love about this one. It feels like community just talking to each other.
It is definitely. So the question we pose to you is, what is one thing that you wish players understood as a DM?
Yeah, what is one thing that you wish your players understood as a dungeon master?
Yeah, that you didn't have to struggle to get them to understand. I am certain. Certain you have some.
There's going to be some.
Certainly. Right. So this next one is, the title is, the DM either booted me out or ended the game because of my Oath of Devotion paladin was high level enough to immunize the party against charm effects.
This is hilarious.
I joined a 5e pickup game online earlier. I joined this game because, unlike most other 5e pickup games, it actually started at a high level. I chose Oath of Devotion because I was trying out the 2024 material, much belatedly. The DM did not give out much of a premise and simply promised generic D&D adventure. I do not know how experienced the DM was with 5e. They could have been new or they could have been experienced. In the very first scene, we were standing before the queen of a generic fantasy kingdom in a generic fantasy world. After some basic introductions, the DM had the queen reveal that she was, in fact, some demonic succubus queen.
Yeah, let's
Suck
go.
your pussy, am I
Suck
right?
your pussy, am I
yeah.
right?
The Arc Fiend proceeded to automatically charm everyone in the room. No saving throw allowed. The DM specifically and repeatedly used the word charm.
Charm.
There you go.
Charm.
Yeah, they're done.
Save from that.
I pointed out that, as an Oath of Devotion paladin, my allies within 10 feet and I were immune to being charmed. There was no further dialogue from there, whether in or out of character. Just a minute or so later, the Discord server was gone from my list and the DM was blocking me. In other words, the DM either booted me out or simply deleted the server and ghosted everyone. How could this have been handled more aptly? First of all, what the fuck?
Imagine, I can just the paladin goes, I'm immune to charm and everyone within 10 feet of me, which is all of my allies. And the dungeon master goes, well, and just fucking leaves.
Oh my god. There was no further dialogue from there.
Oh, me and all my party members are immune to charm, and then there's just nothing.
The scrambling.
Silence.
The scrambling to block and delete. Listen,
Oh
OP,
my God.
I'm so sorry. You were blocked and booted. You were booted.
Yeah. Well, were you booted, or did the dungeon master just maybe out of embarrassment for themselves?
No.
And the thing is, it's just like the thing is, right, we make these mistakes. Like, these are mistakes that we make, and they're hilarious and funny. I remember when once I gave everybody a werewolf to run, and then I threw a rock at them, a boulder as a giant, and it did bludgeoning damage. And all werewolves are immune to bludgeoning.
Immune to bludgeoning
So it just
damage.
did no damage, and I was like, huh. I was like, I've set myself up for failure
But
here.
we were like, yeah.
Yeah, they were like, yeah. And it's just like, we make these mistakes, but instead of just being like, okay, and like maybe like talking to the players or something like that, just going, nope. Well, that's enough.
Well, that's the end of that then, I guess.
That's enough for me.
That was a good run.
I think I'm done, actually.
But you know what? This also kind of goes to the whole like narrative thing. If narratively your whole premise relied on this queen charming them, you can be like, doesn't work like that. You can just be like, no.
I don't think I would do that. Because the devotion paladins may be taking it for this feature and this moment to be cool.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, it doesn't work. It's just like, she realizes she can't charm you and now there's a fight.
Yeah.
Or something like that. Or she realizes
yeah.
she can't charm you, so now she's dropping that and it's like threat. Do you know what I mean? It's like maybe like she tries to go another way around it to get what she wants.
Well, how about deleting the server?
What about
how about deleting the server?
What about just not talking for at least a minute and there's utter and absolute silence and then we kick everyone? Or we just completely delete the server.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I think so. I think that's
this is the thing.
much
Sometimes as dungeon masters, we make these mistakes. We overlook maybe something that our party has gained in a later level. Because the thing is, this is a level 7 ability. This isn't like a turbo late ability. This is a level 7 ability. Sometimes we just overlook those things. But then it's, in my opinion, it can be just quite funny. It can be funny in those moments to be like, well, I've made a mistake.
Is this the equivalent of when you're playing like an online game, like a multiplayer online game, and you do something that you fuck up everything? Like in a rage, you make one mistake and you just turn your whole computer off.
You just turn your computer off.
Is that
instead of dealing with the consequences of your actions?
You just turn it off.
You just turn your computer off.
And you never log on ever again.
This is the moment in Baldur's Gate 3 where you do the thing and you didn't roll well enough and you just restart the save.
Yeah.
And you just hope that you could just turn back time for 5 seconds before they said that, and you say dominate, not charm.
How could this have been handled more aptly?
Just laughing it off.
Yeah, 100%.
Saying that it's a mistake, finding a different way to deal with it, adapting. And I understand that. I understand that we all can't adapt. I understand that like people like struggle maybe under a bit more pressure than others, but just turning off your PC, just kicking people from the server is not the way to deal with it.
You know what? In a way, I kind of feel for the DM a little bit.
In a way, I do as well.
I kind of feel for
In a way, I do as well. But there was definitely a better way to handle it. Just being like, can you just give me a minute? So I can figure out what I'm going to do, because I was banking on that working.
It's just the fact it was the very first scene. And you know what? They obviously took a second to process what had happened. And they were like, what are my options here?
I could
just log off forever.
I don't know any of these people.
Yeah. I don't owe them anything.
I could just delete this server and
just
pretend
go.
like none of this ever happened.
Yeah, I could just go.
I could just leave.
Oh man.
Oh man.
It's fucking funny.
Not the way to
so
deal
sorry.
with it, but it is fucking hilarious.
Oh man. Oh, that is a good one. Oh, all right. This next one.
So good.
The title on this next one is Today I Disposed of My Antagonist and All the Cool Ideas I Had Planned.
Let's go.
I don't regret it at all. So context, new campaign, 4th session. The party is composed of one rogue, a fighter, a cleric, and a wizard. All of the players are veterans except for the rogue who was playing her first campaign. Let's call her H. I had created an amazing antagonist for the early campaign, and I had plenty of perfect ideas for him.
Awesome.
The party was traveling from City A to City B. The warrior lured the party into the woods and ambushed them.
Oh my god.
A gruesome fight went on. 3 PCs almost died, but the warrior was nearly dying as well, with 12 HP left, and he disengaged and fled. The party was severely beaten up, and the journey continued. As they travelled, the party noticed that they were being stalked by the warrior, and H said in character that she was useless during the combat, and that they should simply flee as fast as possible. The party fleeing was exactly what I had planned. But the H's player seemed absurdly disappointed as well. H took the first watch with the wizard as the party rested. She rolled a natural 20 for perception. The storm was wearing off, and as the clouds move away from the full moon, moonlight shines through the trees, and you spot a faint light deep in the forest, as if metal reflected the light from the skies. And it looks like a helmet. The man who almost killed you all stands perched upon a tree branch 300 feet away, gazing at you. She woke the party up, and they started discussing whether they should run away. I had a decision. Let them run away and progress with all of the incredible plans I had for this antagonist. Or, H, as your friends discuss, you realize if you time your arrow just right and stand very still, you might make the shot from where you stand. Sure enough, she hid behind their chariot, and she uses steady aim, she used insightful fighting, and she shot. A critical. And my perfect antagonist fell to the ground, an arrow through the tiny gap of his helmet through his eye socket. Dead. Today, I disposed of one of my favorite antagonists, and I have never seen a happier player.
I love that so much.
And that's why we play D&D.
And that's why we play D&D,
What
baby.
a wonderful DM.
For me, it's this person's new, and we're learning how they play and what they like and all sorts.
Totally.
And there's nothing worse than getting in a fight and just missing everything.
Everything.
And to see this person like down on their luck, and to see this person sort of disappointed, and then to give them the opportunity for them to have like that awesome moment.
Totally.
Because there's gonna be plenty more bad guys. Like this doesn't sound like it was like a campaign long bad guy. This just sounds like it was like arc 1 bad guy.
Yeah, very much so.
Intro bad guy, or something like that.
Very much so.
And for you to just give this person an opportunity to forget what happened, and to not be disappointed in themselves, and to like have that almost like euphoric moment where everyone stands up and cheers and stuff like that.
Totally.
Like you gave that player that opportunity.
Yeah, and you set them up for that as well.
You set them up for success.
You set them up, and you know what? You gave them the information. You like the Matt going, Sam, this would be good for Mage Hand.
Yeah.
The DM gave that player in that moment. They'd heard that they were disappointed. They heard that they had a bit of a shitter in combat.
Yeah.
They heard they felt useless, and they were like, I could really give them a chance here.
I could just throw them a bone.
Yeah.
And
see if
give
they
them
want
a chance.
Yeah. And it was all based on a dice roll still.
Yeah, it wasn't a
a
guarantee.
I mean?
Yeah. I love this.
I
love
do
this.
too.
Because it's like it's being in tune, because I understand that not everyone can do it, because people like maybe struggle to read emotions.
Absolutely, yeah.
But like this person's clearly been in tune with the players, like watching out for like how they're feeling and stuff like that, and just listening and hearing like, man, I'm disappointed. Like I did really bad there. I'm really sorry, guys. Like I let us all down and stuff like that.
Yeah.
To hear that and be like, nah, let's give this person a go.
Yeah.
And you drop, like as a dungeon master, like this is the thing. It's within your power. It's within your hands. It's within your grasp to give that player that moment. Forget that they're the bad guy for the arc. Like it doesn't matter. We can make up a new one.
Exactly.
Like,
you can still have the same bad guy intentions. Just put them on someone else. Yeah, totally.
And you just let this player have the moment. And that player, new player by the way, literally in that moment, probably will never forget that moment.
Exactly.
And has basically just fallen in love with D&D.
Totally. And you know what? As the DM, this is like the opposite of DM versus player. This is the DM wants their players to succeed. And I feel like very selfless to be like, I loved this antagonist, but I can
make another one.
The party didn't know that this was the main antagonist. Yeah. You know what I mean? They know that they were just a guy they fought.
Just a bad guy, yeah.
Like, in that moment to be able to be so adaptable, to be so willing to do that for their player, to be able to put aside any exciting plans you had for yourself in the name of the game being fun for everyone,
and especially for a new player.
Totally. Like, that is, I think, something that as a DM you can't learn that.
No,
that's something that
you just have.
I
agree. I think you can learn it. I think you can maybe see that situation once and not do something about it, and then the second time be like, I didn't do this last time.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna do this for them this time.
Yeah.
So yeah, well done you.
Yeah. What a wonderful DM.
Awesome story.
What a perfect way.
Selfless.
This is like the opposite of gatekeeping.
Yeah.
Man, how often do we hear fucking horrible stories about DMs who get new players and who just want to like put them through the ringer?
Yeah.
Who want to put them like trial by fire?
This isn't a game for fun. This is a game that we live.
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
it's
Exactly.
tough,
Yeah. Exactly.
And you've got to figure it. It's just like, no, this person literally just took this new player and saw that they were maybe disappointed in how they'd performed and stuff like that, and they were like, I'm just gonna give them the chance to like have that awesome moment,
Totally.
have that hero moment. And they did, and
Totally.
they're never going to forget that.
Yeah,
and they're
oh my
probably
God.
going to play TTRPGs for the rest of their life,
Yeah.
or even just think about TTRPGs for the rest of their life.
What a wonderful
because
decision.
of that moment that you gave them.
And again, you know, there's probably people, I'm certain of it, who are like, oh, well, you did a disservice to the rest of the party.
And to the bad guy.
And to the storytelling. And it's like, according to
Why?
who?
Who?
Yeah, why? According to who?
I bet everyone at the table cheered.
Yeah. Oh my God. I bet that was a
table.
standing up moment.
Yeah.
You know, when you all know the moment.
I can just imagine it. It's just like you quietly waking up the guys, and like they all like look up, and you're like, the bad guy's in the tree.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think I can take the shot. What do you think?
Yeah.
And everyone's looking around, and the DM's like, you could do it, and the party's like, do it.
Yeah.
And they all sort of hide behind the chariot with you, and you're like, your bow creaks, and you just see the glint of the moonlight on the helmet. And as you do, you see that tiny gap where like the pupil is, and you release the arrow, and it whistles through the air. And just like when it hits, and it's when you roll the 20, everyone loses their fucking minds.
100%.
Oh God!
And those are the best moments in D&D. And like you said, I feel like the whole table is not going to forget that moment.
Never.
That's one of those moments. We all have them. We all have those moments in D&D where we're like, that, I will never forget that. That was the best thing that ever happened.
Never.
Yeah, 100%. Well done, OP.
GG's.
What a
Jeds?
fucking brilliant one.
Big Jeds?
Big Jeds. The
Big
biggest Jeds.
Big Jeds all around?
Oh, big fucking Jeds. Yeah. All right, this next one. This is simply titled Letting My Character Die. My level 7 bard died last session. My character suffered from a fireball for 36 damage, and they had minus 25 hit points at that point. We got Deus Ex Machina'd and saved. Deus Ex Machina'd?
Yeah.
Deuces. I think I've done this before.
Yeah.
Deuces.
Deuces.
We got Deus Ex Machina'd and saved, but when my party gave them a healing potion, I told the DM I will not add it to my life total. In my eyes, the character was dead. Everyone was shocked at my decision since this campaign had been going on for 2 years. I accepted it happily, and I even prepared a final monologue. In my eyes, the bard killed their sworn enemy in battle, brought down a political revolution, and so much more. Why should they continue down the plot with no real purpose? My party was sad because I was the party comedic relief, unseasoned adventurer, but I can't handle feeling invincible. Sometimes good people die in real life, and my character could be one of them. Lesson here is, if your character dies in a game, you shouldn't be sad about it, but proud of the life you built for them. They will never be remembered by... Sorry, they will be remembered.
They'll
They'll never be remembered. What the fuck?
You, look at me. You'll never be remembered.
They will be remembered by your fellow players and the world the DM built. They will never truly die.
And this, like, it's so weird because this is almost the opposite. Remember earlier when it was just like, just because your story's over?
Yeah.
But it's just like,
totally.
I think it's different when you die.
I agree.
I think...
I agree.
And I love the option. Like, if you honestly feel like, because this is a minus hit point system, which I'm pretty sure is what Pathfinder is, so it might be a Pathfinder game, but that doesn't really matter. Like, if you go unconscious, or maybe you die and somebody tries to revivify you, and you just like put your hand on them and just say, "It's okay."
Yeah.
Like, I did everything I wanted to do.
Yeah.
This is me, because I think sometimes there's times where my character dies, and I'm excited to start a new character. Like, I did everything I wanted to do. and like my part in this story, like my story is over, and I could bring somebody in who's like giga more invested. Not that I'm not invested, but you know, like I think it's a fitting end for my character. I think
agree.
like to go out after I've done all these things which I never maybe expected to do, but I achieved, just being like, it's okay.
Yeah, I agree. And you know what? I feel like there is a lot of there's a lot of things that go into it being
this.
the perfect moment,
I agree.
right? You know, like 2 years in, not the end of the campaign.
Nope.
I don't know how close to the end of the campaign,
Yeah.
but you know, potentially not close to the end of the campaign, right? You know, the character had fulfilled everything that they wanted to do in the backstory. There is room to be able to introduce a new character. I feel like there's a lot of like good timing that goes into that. But I agree. Like, you know, I can't speak on it because I've never had a character die, and I've always been of the opinion that I would like to have
the opportunity to bring them back.
Totally, yeah. But you know, is that just because they haven't done
everything they
want to do? You know what I mean? And I would much prefer like a narrative death as opposed to like
just going out to a fireball.
Just going out to a fireball.
Going out to a random fireball.
Yeah, exactly.
But you know, like this is the thing. Like I think like there's a lot of players like me who do get excited by like playing new characters and stuff like that. And if you know, I came into a campaign and I did everything that I set out to do, and stuff, and my character did die, I think I'm of the disposition, I'm of the sort of mindset as to be like, it's okay.
Totally.
Save that diamond for someone who really, really cares.
Yeah.
It's not that I don't care, but somebody who really wants to bring their character back, because I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm excited for a new beginning. I'm excited to bring somebody else in with a fresh mindset and like stuff like that. Because to me, sometimes, like if I spend too long in one character, I can get a little like, it's just who I am. I could just get a little bored with it.
Yeah.
And it's not because I'm bored with the story. I just get excited about making new characters and stuff like that. So, you know, I think this is awesome. I think this is super cool.
Yeah, I do as well. I think, you know, it very, very, very much depends on what type of player you are.
And what kind of campaign you're in.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. Because, you know, again, let's look back at when TRP died. She died 2 sessions before the end of the entire campaign.
Yeah.
Like, yes, she had achieved everything she wanted to do. She had killed Odiga. She had been able to put her parents in a position where they were safe. TRP her character had achieved everything. Now, does it mean that if she had actually died at that point and Abby had to bring in a new character for the last 2 sessions of the campaign, like that timing was horrendous.
Yeah.
Like actually awful.
And that's why I was more than happy for her to come back, as long as like there was a narrative part to the death. But yeah, like, and there's some people who will have achieved everything in the campaign who still don't want to let it go, because they're like, it's like this campaign is this character. Yeah. Like they can't like unsee the two together.
Yeah, definitely.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
Like for me, I think this is just player preference, and just like I would never say no, you have to come back. Someone's healing you. Like, and there is something to be said about like the rules of being like the soul has to be willing to come back to the body.
Yeah, totally.
And if your soul is just at peace, then
absolutely, like
narratively, like you achieved everything that you wanted to, and your soul is at peace. Your soul wants to rest.
Yeah, I agree.
Maybe you're a little bit old or something like that, and you're happy.
Yeah,
like
I agree.
The death is something that you like willingly accept.
Yeah.
And I love that. And I don't think I would ever like stop somebody from doing that.
No, and I don't think you should. You know, I think character death is something that is so personal and so different for each person. I think it's really important to allow each individual person to be able to decide kind of what happens to their character in death. And, you know, OP worded it perfectly here. Like, be proud of the life that you built for your characters. Like, they will be remembered forever by the party.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
They will be remembered forever by the DM in the world. They will never truly die.
Yeah.
I fully agree with that. Fully
agree with that.
Yeah.
Always be remembered. Always live on within the campaign in the memory of it.
Yeah, and I feel like, you know, depending on how they died too. I feel
random fireball. By a goblin. Stabbed by a goblin.
Yeah. Oh, it's a critical fumble table. And a rat bites them and they die forever.
24 AC 175 HP paladin dies to a dagger. A 1d4 dagger by a goblin.
Yeah.
Well, it's a good way.
Yeah.
Or sevens.
Yeah. Yeah, I completely agree. I think this is something that would not work for everyone, but something that for the people who want it would work really well.
Yeah.
Agreed. Well, that's it for the post. I guess. Shall we just get on to the last two?
The art.
The pickies.
I selected these two, and I love them very much.
You know what? The very first one that Jack chose, I actually nearly picked this for the last one.
Yeah.
Because I think it's really cool, but I can't remember what I ended up going up with. But this piece of art has been done by Gura's Studio. We will of course leave links below. And this is Elvira, leader of the Slayer Squad.
Let's go.
The Slayer Squad?
The Slayer Squad. Do you know what I look like? And because most of the time when you get art, you never get like action shots.
No, I always get like
portraits and things like that.
Yeah.
This, like the action shot.
I know, this is
running with the two like wolves, the two like panther, like snow leopard things.
This is like a full-on illustration action shot.
Like the cocked camera angle.
Yeah.
Like all of the people in the background. Oh, man.
Yeah, agreed. Like,
this goes hard.
I really would love to get like a full illustration done sometime. You know what? I just never know what to get.
What, like action shot?
Yeah.
Just have swinging the sword.
Yeah.
Just running into battle head on.
So there's a little bit of information. This is Elvira, the current leader of the Slayer Squad. The Slayer Squad is the absolute embodiment of small-scale combat. They're an elite fighting force who was trained together from a very young age. Their entire unit is built around Elvira's design, and they use meticulous tactics and formations to be able to defeat even much larger enemy forces.
Love that.
It helps that they are all expertly trained in perfect physical condition, selected from amongst the strongest and most proficient members of the kingdoms and wear the pinnacle of gear available.
Let's go.
Elvira herself rose to lead the unit by proving to be the most versatile and unbeatable single combatant the entire kingdom has to offer. Her fearless leadership of the Slayer Squad has instilled even more potency in her troops, while simultaneously being judged harshly by some of the other squad's leaders. Many believe that her thirst for battle to be careless and might jeopardize her position among the council. She doesn't care. They trained her to kill and to win battles, so that is what she does. Moreover, she knows exactly how good she and her Slayer Squad are. Man!
So, what you're telling me is she's kind of a badass.
Yeah, she's a fucking badass.
So you're telling me she might be a bit of a badass.
So what I'm hearing is Elvira is a badass bitch.
What you're telling me is she might be a little bit of a badass.
Man, and you know what? I am a sucker for a girly in plate armor.
Oh, man.
My God.
Just like the story behind that as well.
Totally.
Like the formations, and they know how good they are.
Yeah.
And she might get kicked off the council because of her, like,
because people think she's too brutal.
And she's like, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
The council means nothing to me. This is what matters to me.
Yeah.
Not fighting.
And the panthers, man. What a beautiful.
The white panther's so good.
What a gorgeous illustration. What
it's
a
like,
cool backstory.
Like when you explain all that and you see that it's like almost a smirk on her face.
Yeah, definitely.
She's just excited to fuck you up.
Yeah, totally.
She's gonna fuck you up and she's gonna like it.
Oh yeah, the last thing you see before you die, literally.
This moment.
Literally.
This is the moment you see before you die.
Man, that is so fucking cool. What absolutely gorgeous art. I love that so much. Good. I love that. This next one, this is by Kaima Lebija, and the title is Drew Our Party Bravely and Strategically Fleeing from a Beholder.
Very bravely. It's the bravest fleeing you've ever seen.
Oh yeah, so brave.
No, they're not cowards.
No.
They're brave and strategic.
Yeah. Oh my God, they're strategically fleeing from a beholder. Listen, sometimes you just got to strategically flee from a beholder.
Sometimes you're in over your head.
Yeah,
sometimes you didn't realize there was going to be a beholder, and now there's a beholder, and now you've got to run.
My favorite part, and this was everyone's favorite part, it's the dwarf holding a baguette.
Yeah, I don't know why. They've all got such like some of them don't even look scared. They're sort of like,
oh, fuck, oh, shit, oh, fuck.
In a bit of trouble here.
Oh, damn, oh. As this beholder's literally trying to disintegrate them.
I beaming the shit out of them. And some of them are like, Good. And I love the way it's drawn. I love the colours.
Yeah, I do too. The colours, like,
it's so vibrant.
I agree. The colours are
it.
really, really beautiful. I think it's such a
great
cool piece of
drawing.
art.
I love it.
And the backstory to this is, in our last session, we were exploring the Underdark. After a very long day of fighting spiders, Juragar, and other Underdark creatures, we finally got to catch a break in an underground castle. Or so we thought. Our wizard insisted on exploring the castle further, and we eventually found some illusionary terrain in the basement that led to a hidden room. Despite our pleas, the wizard went in. He was promptly met with a very, very big eye. What ensued was all of us frantically using all of our possible movement abilities to bravely flee from the castle to hopefully fight another day.
It's so weird because normally the wizard last one to do the exploring on their own.
Agreed,
It's very strange to hear a wizard who's like, I'm going to go and explore on my own.
Yeah,
then.
fuck it. And everyone being like, oh God, please. And the wizard being like, I'm out.
I'm good.
Too bad I'm gone.
Bravely.
Bravely.
Don't you say anything else. It's bravely.
Oh, bravely. Yes.
Bravely
indeed.
done.
Bravely.
Heroically.
Strategically
and bravely and heroically done.
Indeed, man.
Love it.
I fucking love this. I love the fact that you were able to have this moment and just be like, you know what? I'm gonna memorialize that. I'm gonna draw that.
It was probably really funny, to be fair.
Yeah. Oh my God, I bet it was so fucking funny. It looks like it was funny.
It looks like it was funny.
Based on
especially the
that.
baguette.
Especially
the baguette.
Apparently, I took a look at the comments. Apparently, the baguette is the dwarves' weapon.
Let's go.
Let's fucking
That's
go.
my favourite, a stale baguette.
And getting beaten up with a baguette.
Oh, that's the way I want to go.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
A tasty death.
Yeah.
A tasty end.
Oh, well.
I hope you enjoyed yourself.
That was it. You know, not as long as I thought it was going to be, actually.
No. An hour, it's about an hour and a half.
Yeah.
I hope you enjoyed yourself.
Yeah.
Vote for us.
Yeah.
In the Crit Awards.
Yeah,
Go and pick up some merch. www.eldritchpodblast.co.uk. Go and pick up some stuff from our Etsy shop. I would like to rage t-shirts and things like that. Code Podblast will get you 10% off anything in our Hellbound store. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell. There's a Google form down below if you want to send in any of your stories to be read out on the podcast. Anything else? No. I love you.
I love you.
The dog bully Bean himself loves you very much. We've been the Eldritch Podblast, and we're going to see you on Thursday. Bye.